Hi, welcome to day 7 of your February movement challenge. I'm Amanda and this is Liminal Space Yoga. Today we're going to spend the majority of our 15-minute workout standing on our feet. Yesterday we were on the ground the entire time stretching, and there's always a time and place for both different movement patterns. So maybe you want to flip-flop the days, whatever you want to do, but today we're standing. It's a little bit more energy and we're going to play around a little bit with our balance and our footing, right? So go ahead, come to standing, spread your toes out wide, spread your feet wide underneath your hips or further. Pick your toes up off the mat, and then one at a time, from the pinky to the inside toe, root them down. You can do both feet at the same time. Right, and then lift up the arches of your feet, and then go again. Lift up the toes, switch to the inside of the foot, and then one at a time, root them down. So just kind of play around with your feet for a minute here. You can do the right side and then left side, or kind of go at the same time. But just take the next few moments and breathe. Picking your toes up, moving your foot and your ankle around, and rooting your feet down. Good, now we're going to root down the big toe side, pick up the toes on the right foot, and then root down the toes and pick up the big toe on the right foot. All toes flatten right side, left side. We're going to pick up the big toe. See what you can do there. Flatten the big toe, pick up all the little toes, and then flatten the whole foot. Good. Feel the arches of your feet lift, and then just kind of shift your weight from front to back. Lift up to the balls of your feet. Pick up your toes. So you're just going to kind of allow the body to sway. Sometimes it's nice to have hands on hips, kind of draw the core muscles in so that you find your center of gravity, and just kind of shift your weight. Lifting your heels and then shifting back, lifting your toes and maybe even like more of the foot, right? You can always step back to catch yourself. So let's do a couple more. Shift the weight. Maybe even let the body, the head kind of like reach forward. Maybe let the head reach back. Just play with your balance. The whole point is to throw yourself off so that you can then bend or move in a way to catch yourself. Now we're going to work on supinating and pronating the ankles. So kind of scooping the arch up, moving to the outer edge of the foot, feeling the muscles, how they change their tonus on the outside, and then flipping to the inside, kind of feeling how the muscles start to move on the inside. So flipping the ankles from the inside to the outside for 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Getting those stabilizer muscles working. If you have a wall, feel free to use it. We're going to bring the right knee up, cross the foot over the ankle. If you don't have a wall, that's also fine. And you're just going to allow this shape to open up. Kind of find your breathing, your center of gravity. Keeping the foot flexed here to protect the knee, the angle of the knee. And then maybe holding at the hips, pushing the hips back, and gently bending into this shape. So being mindful not to send the knee and the whole body forward, but to be pushing the hips back like you're sitting down. And if you have a stool handy or nearby and you want to sit on it, that's fine. So then taking a breath kind of when you get to the edge of that movement. Go ahead and then coming back up slowly. Releasing that foot, stepping the toes wide. And then we're just going to bump the hips off to the left. Good, and then bump the hips to the right, leaning to the left. One more time, bump the hips left, lean to the right. Good, and then come back through center. Step the feet together, lift your left leg, cross ankle over knee, flex that foot, and then just let the shape open. Kind of feel into your right foot, how it's keeping you balanced, and then just find a breath here, nice and slow. And then maybe starting to sink the hips back, maybe holding onto a wall, maybe even taking a seat As you start to drive the hips back to find kind of like the edge of this shape and this stretch for you. Again, there's no shame in holding the wall, and we're just keeping that knee above the ankle on the right side. Kind of nice and tall through the spine, maybe giving a little extra press in with the left arm. Take one more breath here. Big exhale. Slowly starting to lift up and out, coming back to the top of that shape, and then stepping the left foot out, bumping the hips over to the right side, kind of leaning to the left. Good, and then coming back through center, kind of bumping the hips left, leaning off to the right. One more time, bump the hips, shift, lean into the left. And exhale, come back through center. We're going to turn both toes forward, both toes inward. Drop the knees towards center and back out wide. So pushing the booty back, dropping the knees out towards center, and maybe bringing them in a little bit closer. So center. Couple more times. We're not squatting down too far. We're just kind of internally rotating. Okay, now toes forward. Slowly start to push the hips back, sit back towards a squat, and then come right back up. Sit down into a squat, maybe reach the arms out, come back up. You can even hold a wall if you need to, or reach out to a wall in front of you. And now we're going to add a little bit of balance into the mix. So we're going to start to shift, kind of march when we come up, shift the weight left, hike the right knee up. Step back down, plant the foot. Other side. Okay, so you can keep it at this pace, nice and slow and intentional. Or maybe you want to start to speed it up. Maybe you have music on. We're going to keep going. We're just working through nice and slow, focusing on balancing and shifting our weight today. And we're going to add another little movement here just to see what happens as we shift the weight and move the weight. Okay? So we're going to squat down. We're going to bring the hands behind the ears. As we come up, add a twist. Tap the elbow to the knee. Wide, up and twist. Lower back down wide. So feeling some core muscles as we kind of cross over the inside muscles, activating, working on our balance, focusing on slow movements, knowing that a little bit of movement in our day is better than no movement at all. Just taking our time. Even if we do the same movement for the whole 15 minutes. Let's do one more each side. And getting better as you go, right? Good. Step the feet wide, hands to hips. We're going to take little circles. So just shifting the hips around in a circle to the right side. Bumping out and then reaching back to the left, maybe forward. One more circle in this direction. Find your breath here. Pausing at the top of the movement and then switching directions. Maybe we're taking a big full circle, or maybe we're taking a smaller circle, just kind of feeling what's going on in the body if we're a little bit sore. One more time through. Finding your big breath. Good. And coming back through center. Heel toeing the feet back underneath us. And we're going to take it for one more march just to play with our balance. So feet together rather than wide. You can bring the hands out for kind of a tapping point, and we're just going to march. Right, for 10, switching sides. 8, 7. Feel your foot flatten out as you plant it down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's go out wide for 10, 9, bring the feet back together, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to take the feet wide, kind of get all our weight on the left foot, and we're going to drive the heel across. Tap the toe, drive the heel. And you don't have to tap the foot to the mat if you would rather just swing it through, but I kind of like to add the tap. So starting to feel the inner thigh working, a little soft through your left knee. It doesn't have to be super bent, but let's not try to lock it out. Last 2. Good. Step it down, shift the weight, tap the left toes, drive the heel across. Tap, tap, as many times as you need to catch your balance. Drive it across. So kind of feeling some inside muscles working. Might feel it down the psoas, might feel it inner thigh. Keep going. Engage core muscles, maybe even bring the hands in. Last 2. Last 1. Good. Big toes touch. Sliver of space between the heels. Drive your hips back. Queen chair pose, bend the knees. Hands to heart center, and then hands to ribs. Bring your hands long so that your pinkies are down by your hip bones and your thumbs are wrapping up at your ribs, kind of drawing them in, right? I'm somebody who flares the ribs and has low back stuff going on, but I have to be reminded, and my hands really help to just drive the ribs down, anchor into the core muscles a little bit more. Right, and then maybe sink down, press the feet down and out to light up through the outside, and then little squats here for 8, 7, pulses, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step it to the left. Step the left, bring the right. Step the left, bring the right. 3 times off to the left, 3 times to the right. Big steps, little steps, whatever you got. Left, stay low in your squat. We're going to do it one more time to the right. Little low squatty walks. Good, and then drive the feet down, press up, stand, squeeze the back of the body. Gently lower the hands, tuck the chin to the chest. Draw yourself down, rounding through the spine, dropping the weight of the head. Maybe even grabbing opposite elbows for ragdoll. Finding your hands, walking your feet back, gently lowering your knees, coming all the way down to the belly. Kind of wiggling out through the hips, dropping the head down onto the hands, elbows wide. Good. Now we're going to just press down through the hip bones, really anchoring the body, and then releasing, pressing the hip bones down, driving down, squeezing muscles, and release. Exhale one more time, press down, slide the hands under the shoulders, squeeze the elbows in, give yourself a baby cobra here. And then float the feet up, flutter kicks for 10, 9, 8, 7, be gentle, 6, 5, reach the top of the head forward, 3, 2, 1, lower down, left cheek to the mat. Turn your head, right cheek to the mat. Good, come back through center. We're going to bend both knees, reach hands back for the ankles. And you can just hold it here and keep your chin on the mat and really press the hip bones down. So you're focusing on driving the hip bones down rather than lifting up, but you're free to kick into your hands. and also lift up into a bow pose. But again, really just focusing here on driving the hips down and opening the front of the body without really bending into the back of the body in order to do so. So it's going to depend on how tight your muscles are here, but take another breath. Maybe start to just open the shoulders and lift slightly. And then let your exhale be your release of the hands to the feet, hands back underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes. Feel free to use your knees as you press up through tabletop and back to a child's pose. Once again, untucking the toes, dropping the weight of the head, reaching the arms forward, and taking 3 deep breaths here, in through the nose, and out, in through the nose, and out. One more big breath, really filling up the stomach, the torso, opening up space in the spine. Pause at the top, take another sip of air. Exhale, let it all go. Slowly drag your hands in towards your legs, rise up. That's it. You've completed day 7 of the February Movement Challenge. I'm Amanda, founder of Liminal Space Yoga, and I can't wait to see you back here tomorrow for day 8.